If you have read the story of Steve Jobs, he had a clear vision, and his vision was simple. This thing called a computer can be put in small boxes where everybody owns a personal computer. That's where the acronym PC came from. He had the vision, he had the idea, but at a point, he partnered with the sales manager of a big computer company who had management ability to organize all these things and bring it to come. And that's what happened. They succeeded at it. And after a while, they kicked him out of Apple, right? And then Apple began to struggle. And people in their honesty said, let's go back to this guy who had this vision from the beginning. They brought him back to Apple. When he came to Apple, he again energized the engineers at Apple, and that's when they came out with the iPod. After the iPod, iPhone, iPad, and Apple blew again. Why? He's a leader. He sees what you cannot see. I hope not, you know that not all of us can see visions. When I say vision, not the one you dream. Just the fact that it is possible to have an economy that is cashless. Somebody saw it and saw it's doable. That person who saw it may not have known how it will be done, but he saw that this is possible. And the more they talked about it, the more people began to think. The doers came in, and now we have ATM machines. And if you go to Europe now, you don't even need your ATM card anymore. Just take your phone, touch on the ATM machine, it scans your phone, and you have paid. It's possible, it's doable. It's happening everywhere. Praise the name of the Lord. So, whether you are a leader manager or you are a manager leader, you must do what? Say it now. Okay, say it to yourself. I must. You are not saying it like you mean it. I must do. Okay, now say it, I must do. I must manage my time well. Simple example. Today is Sunday morning. I'm sure if you are somebody who organizes yourself, you would have calculated by 7 a.m. I'll be in church, or by 8 a.m. I'll be in church. Church will last till, Pastor has already said there's going to be an extended service, so maximum 12. And then after church, I'll get home, I'll take a 1 hour rest, I'll do this. What do you call that? Managing your time. Many of us went through secondary school, primary school, and such levels. All of us, I believe, did go through that. And in your school, you had timetables for your subjects. What they were teaching you indirectly was how to box your time in discrete units for what you need to do. They didn't say maths the whole day. Maths, 8 to 9. English, 9 to short break. Then you continue. What were they teaching you? Planning your time. But unfortunately, the teachers who taught us did not tell us the principle behind it. All we knew that we had timetable. If you knew that the principle behind that timetable was how to organize your day, you would have learned it from that stage in your life. And now at this stage, we will not be struggling. But now you have finished secondary school, you have finished university, you still don't know that you need to box your time in discrete units, and then there's a struggle. Are we making sense? Praise the name of the Lord. Help me tell your neighbor, manage your time well. Who knows that song? Time now, money, oh. You see you people now. Make you use your no. Do. Can you celebrate my cookery? Time now. And it says, use your time well. Is it good counsel? Is it different than what we're talking about today? And by the way, those were the songs we used to enjoy those days. Not now. Wala, wala, wala. What's going on? Why is it flickering? You know, so in those days, you had songs that challenged you, motivated you, inspired you. You know, I was talking to my daughter, and we're talking about Bob Marley and the kind of inspiration he brought to a certain generation, right? He didn't do everything correctly. But if you listen to his songs, he spoke a lot of truth to power. And at a point, I think there was a worry about the influence he was garnering. And recently I read a report that somebody said he worked for the CIA and he killed Bob Marley by giving him a pair of canvas shoes that were poisoned, and that pricked his toe and they called it cancer. And they were worried about the man's influence. They needed to stop him. That's the world we live in. But you see, those men, they were philosophical in their thinking. Let's come back to the room. I've taken you out now, right? Recess. So we come back to class. Short break. Okay. So what is time? Good point to ask this question. If I ask for the definition of time, can anybody define what time is? I'm not looking for textbook definition or dictionary definition. What do you see time to be? What is time?
Your life measured in beats.
Minstrel says time is your life measured in beats. She has been in my class before. I'm suspecting her. Yes, any other person? Yes, Blackson. Calibration of your activities. That's a big grammar now. Are you Igodomigodo's brother? I think we need Gamaliel to break it down. Let's come to Gamaliel.
Regular passage of life.
Regular passage of life. That means you are celebrating, I'm 40 years old. You're simply saying, I'm 20 years away from going home. Or I'm 40 years away from exiting the stage. So whenever you do that, think about it from that perspective, that the rope is shortening with every passing day. And I said it here, that as a young person, you spend your time to save your money. But as you get older, you spend your money to save your time. Because suddenly time becomes of greater value than money. I mean, I can afford to enter one motor now from here to Lagos and even look for cheaper on tipper. And we can start today and arrive Lagos on Tuesday. Is it possible? Or I can walk into the airport and say, you came late. How much is the ticket? 500,000. Give me, I'm going to Lagos. And in 45 minutes, I've touched down and I'm off doing my business. What have I just done? Spent my money to save my time. If at this stage I can't spend money to save time, then something is wrong somewhere along my journey. Are we together? So what is time? St. Augustine, that's what he says. He says, I know what time is until somebody asks me. You have something to say? Yes.
We can also say that time is an asset given by God to manage our life.
Did you hear that? Time is what? It's a resource. It's an asset given to you. You have a responsibility to manage it. Let's go. But Balthasar Gracian says, nothing really belongs to us but time. Even time, everyone has it, even if you have no other thing. You are broke like broke can be. You have time. In fact, you may even have more time. Right? It depends on what you do with the time. All right? So a few concepts around time, metaphors for time. Yes. One, we said time is, because it's difficult to define time. And so people speak about time metaphorically. Time is money. And I've said it before when I was talking on this subject some time ago. I said, if, for example, you earn 100,000 a month, right? That means you earn 3,300 naira plus or minus a day. Am I correct? And so if you spend 10,000 buying a pair of shoes, you just spend 3 days of your life on a pair of shoes. So if you look at your funds that way, I'm sure you'll be more disciplined with how you deal with your money. And that's why I see these are guys in those places, let's not call names, you know them now. I saw one with jeans coats recently. Somebody spent plenty money to look like a clown. That one is jeans, so it's Versace. Let's respect it. Let's respect it too. The jeans is on with like 27 pockets. His own doesn't have that type. But you can't spend that kind of money looking like a clown, right? The reason they burn it like that is that they have not, their blood and sweat did not go into acquiring it. If you meet the Dangotes of this world, they don't spend like that because they stay awake looking for how to make more of it. Have you ever heard them say you are eating like a thief? Who has ever heard that phrase? And that's because a thief, when he just gets money, he just goes to Mama Put, give me borokoto, give me shaki, give me abodi, give me. And his whole finger will be soiled with oil. He will lick from the back to the front to the elbow. Right? Because he has not. But when you work for money, when you get there, as a younger man, I remember one of those days I went to a booker to eat where I was working at L.E.A.D. And at that time, my income a month was about 4,000 naira. And this man walked in with about 3 ladies. And by the time they brought his bill, I confess I was so mad where I was. He had spent about 1,000 naira on Mama Put. And I just said to myself, how much does this man give his wife at home to cook? If you go and check it, he'll just give her 50 naira and then come out to... Such a man, I'm sure if you find him today, he'll be broke like broke can be. I dare you to go look for him. I don't know him. But then he used to work for NAFCON. And if you know NAFCON in those days, how their people were spending money, they burnt NAFCON down, putting it in their tummy. And today, most of them are broke like broke can be. Time is money. Honor time, yes. Time is a limited what's going on? Time is a limited and valuable resource. That simply means you don't have time without measure. There is measure to time. So it's a scarce resource. Wow. It's stable now. Why are you still? Yes. Time is our lives measured out in years, months, days, hours, minutes, and seconds. Yes. How do we manage time? I hope you know you can stretch time. See that man stretching the clock? You can operate like you have 27 hours a day while you have 24. It's about how you organize your time. Yes. So, historically, the concept of management simply means to control, right? When I say he's a manager, what is his job? Control the resources, whether they are personnel, whether they are materials, whether they are equipment. What's his job? Control the use of these resources. But today, what does it mean to manage really? Management is efficiency. Efficiency. Making sure that things run smooth. If you have a manager who in a bid to manage your resource stops productivity, what will you do to that manager? You fire him. But if you have a manager that works in such a manner that everything is working like a well-oiled machine, producing maximum output, I'm sure you'll give that manager more incentive. All right? So today, management is really about efficiency, making sure things run smoothly. Can we put it in your hands and go to bed? That's the question. Can I put the organization, can I put your unit, can I put your department in your hands and go to bed knowing that I don't have to worry about what's going on there? And every time I walk in there, I will see you operating at optimum. Is it possible? That's the issue. And in your office, if you are not such a person as they can put in your hands something and the leadership of that organization goes to bed knowing that it won't fall to the ground, don't expect to be promoted. You can only be led, you can't lead. And so when they don't promote you, don't quarrel, don't fight, don't force. Just go back in your house, ask yourself, what am I doing wrong, and adjust and come out as somebody that can be trusted. Some of us are at 40, at 50. The company is still trying to manage us. But they brought you to manage situations. You know that kind of thing? They brought you to solve problems. Now you have arrived, you are the problem. It should not be that way. Now your management is trying to solve you. But they sent you on many trainings, so they spent money on you. And they can't just let you go like that. After a while, they say, okay, go ahead, the unit where they are cleaning cars. At least your effect is not too heavy. Praise the name of the Lord. Yes, and it's also about effectiveness. Those days, focus was effectiveness, but now it's not just effectiveness only. It's effectiveness and efficiency. Being prudent about the use of resources. Prudent about the use of time. Making sure that when you come out there every day, your time is put to judicious use. Your time is put to valuable use. You can't just come. And that is why sometimes you are in a dilemma in Nigeria. Our civil servants are agitating for increased minimum wage. But everywhere civil servants work in Nigeria, what they create is block. They just create obstacles everywhere you find them. There is nothing you will find where anything is moving. For them, they create the obstacles, create the chaos, create the commotion, and that now creates the opportunity to profit out of it. Because if a system works smooth, you don't need to bribe. But when we create chaos out of it, people need to say, please, I'm hurrying. I was at the airport some time ago in Lagos. Early morning flight, 6 a.m. or 6:45. Got to the turnstile where you check into board, and the two scanners were there. They put only one on. The queue had gotten outside. They kept it there. So when people began to trample them, they put the second one on. So the question is, why do that? Are you demonized? It breaks your heart to see that. Why should we always be this way? I was talking with my wife, how a young man, I was behind him on the queue, immigration stand to travel out. He gave his passport to the immigration guy. Your job is to check that his visa is valid. Am I correct? Once you check it, stamp. In fact, they've already checked that he has a visa. Your job is really to stamp him out to show he legally exited Nigeria. Immigration guy looked at the passport, fresh passport, no history of travel, and said to him, where are you going to stay when you get there? And the guy said, the people who gave me visa already asked that question, and they were satisfied with my response. So, you are speaking grammar for me. And he just put his passport on one side. And I was right behind, because he was there, a woman was behind him, and I was behind the woman. And then the woman stepped forward and said, "What's the problem?" The woman said, "What is your problem? He has his visa. Give him and let him go." And you want to talk to? Okay, let's see how he won't travel today. And the woman said, "I'm going to solve you like a problem." That was the first time I heard that statement in my life. So I'm going to solve you like a problem. She took a picture of him. That young man was her son-in-law. And the next 5 minutes, the Comptroller General of Immigration was calling. And all the immigration officers were on their knees in front of the woman. Why does it have to be that way? If you are a civil servant and you are in the inner court church, Holy Spirit will turn your neck if you do like that. You have to be different. They may laugh at you, they may mock you, they may make you feel like you are odd man out. Maintain the path of uprightness. At the end, we'll see whose life is rewarded. You can win battles but lose the war. The idea is win the war. And you can lose battle upon battle upon battle and still win the war. Some people may be winning battles but end up losing the war. Am I making sense to you? Okay. So your time management should focus on what? Can you make time run smoothly? You can't. What should you be doing? Proper allocation, proper control, proper utilization. Don't wake up in the morning and wake up to Nigerian Home Video and you watch till 11. You go and eat for energization and you come back and continue from where you stopped. And then by evening you wonder where time went. Sometimes you even forget to go for Bible study. And then at night, masquerade start chasing you. And you say, "Pastor, you dreamt masquerade." It's the film you watched. Those masquerade were chasing people and they followed you to your dream. I don't know if I'm making sense to you. So please utilize your time effectively. Time wasted is what? Time used is. I ask a question. Are you existing or you are living? It's a critical question you need to answer for yourself. Are you existing or living? If you fritter your time away, you are just existing. But if you make good use of your time, you are living. All right? Quickly. You cannot lead time. Did we say that? I said it earlier. Efficiency, you can't make time run smoothly, but you can lead your life. Time is just ticking. Tick, 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 tick. 61 minutes. Tick, 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 tick. 62 minutes. Right? 60 minutes, 1 hour. 24 hours, 1 day. 7 days, 1 week. 4 weeks, 1 month. 12 months, 1 year. 10 years, 1. You wake up one morning, say it's Golden Jubilee with wooden achievement. It doesn't work. It does not work. Can you start now? Yes, you can start now. How do you do that? You must identify your purpose. Where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. You must identify your purpose. And that's what will galvanize you to put to proper use the time God has given to you. Pastor, God told me in a vision of the night that I'm supposed to be a heart surgeon. And now you are 50 years, you have not passed WAEC. How? Is it goats you want to be operating? It's slaughter you'll be working now. You'll be cutting the heart and selling the meat. Are we together? You must know your purpose, and everything you pursue must be driven by purpose. Anything that does not add to your purpose could be a distraction to you and a waste of your time. Is there room for leisure? Yes, there is room for leisure. We're not saying purpose until you collapse. There is room for leisure. While pursuing purpose, once in a while, take time out. I mean, swimmers who swim, when you swim, you bring your head and take air. Is that not what happens? Yes. So as you're pursuing purpose, every once in a while, take time, relax, refresh. If you see the guys in the Western world, I just admire the way they live their lives. But also, I know that society has made it a bit easier to live that kind of a life. A Man U fan can spend half of his savings or half of his salary buying ticket to go and watch Man U in the stadium. Am I correct? And that's probably because there's a mortgage on the property he's staying in. But the dangerous thing about that, which they don't realize and sometimes we don't also recognize, is that you belong to the state. With that mortgage, you belong to the state. When they say jump, you have to jump. Otherwise, when they pull the plug on you, you are homeless. But in Nigeria, if you own house, it's your house. Am I correct? You built it by yourself. Except government is going to put road around there. Then they will send valuers to come and then valuers will come, look at your house that is 10 million, value it at 1 million, and put the 9 in their pocket. Does it happen? Come and talk to me now. Gamaliel is smiling at me. Don't join them. Praise the name of the Lord. You must identify your objectives. Now the question is, what's the difference between purpose and objectives? Purpose speaks to long-term goals, end of the road, the destination. Objectives are those short-term things you do to get to that end. I want to be a surgeon. Objective, finish primary school. Right? Pass your primary school. That's objective number 1, 6 years. Objective number 2, finish secondary school. Pass secondary school, 6 years. Objective number 3, while doing secondary school, write JAMB. Pass JAMB. Objective number 4, get into university. Pass my first MB, first 3 years. And second MB, graduate. Go for my registry as a surgeon. These are short-term bursts. But ultimately, after about 20 years of pursuing that purpose, will you get there? If you are focused, you will get there. So identify your objectives. Until you know your purpose, you can't know what the objectives are. So that's where you start from. Are we together? And then number 3. Hello? Identify your values. Because your objectives will define your values. You cannot say you want to slam 300 in JAMB and sleep day in, day out. Your value will be studying your books. And you're not studying comics. You're not studying Mills and Boone. You're studying physics. You're studying chemistry. You're studying biology. Those are your values suddenly. You take interest in those things and you push the boundaries with them. Yes. And I stop it there. So by the grace of God, when we meet on Sunday, it will be open conversations. Please come with your questions, come with your thoughts. But I like one thing I've heard this morning, that time is an asset that you have been given to manage. Please note that in your own notebook as one of your definitions of time. God bless you. Service starts in about 9-10 minutes. Sit back and